Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Wizards Pregame. We spoke earlier today during Wizards Outlook from last night's game against Sacramento that we saw the Kings jump out to a hot start. Washington, rallied in the second quarter, weren't able to get it done as they fell, and that was their third loss on this road trip. This is the fourth and final stop. They're in Denver tonight to take on the 28-13 Nuggets. It's the first of two meetings this season between the teams. Denver is currently riding a three-game win streak, coming off wins against the Bucks, Pelicans, and Mavericks. Despite Nikola Jokic being out, they're 6-4 in their last 10 games. He last played on December 29th. The Nuggets currently possess third place in the Western Conference. The injury report. The Wizards will be without Tristan Vukovic, Bilal Coulibaly, Cam Whitmore, and Trey Young. For the Nuggets, Christian Braun and Jokic are ruled out, while Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, and Jamal Murray are all game time decisions. Denver is rated the best offense in the league, averaging 122.6 points per game. They, they shoot 50.2 from the floor and 40.3 from range, while being third in the league in turnovers. They do a great job of taking care of the ball. They turn it over just 11.7 times per game. They're obviously missing, their engine, kind of like their lifeblood on that end of the floor. Obviously, with Joker being out before he went down, he's well on his way in terms of being a leader in MVP conversations. He was averaging 29.6 a game, points per game, 12.2 rebounds, 11 assists, and 1.4 steals. It's what he was averaging nightly. On the defensive end, Denver's in the middle of the pack. They allow teams to shoot 47% from the floor and 37.7 from deep. Teams rarely turn the ball over against them. So while they do a great job of taking care of the ball, not succumbing to opponent's pressure, on the other hand, they don't do a great job of turning teams over. Again, teams are averaging just 11.6 turnovers a game against them. As for the keys to tonight's game, Jamal Murray has stepped it up in the last 10 games. Share with you guys Denver's record in the last 10 is 6-4. He's played in seven of those contests. He's averaging 27.4 points per game while shooting 39% from deep. It's imperative that Washington slows him down, especially without Joker being out there. That's the other side of that monster they have over there in Denver. Washington can't afford for him to have a big night. Another player to keep an eye on is, it's he's done a great job over these last 10 games, but when they're healthy, he plays he fits his role. He does a good job producing his role, but he stepped that production up while Joker's been out. Over the last for the season, Peyton Watson's averaging 13.8 points per game, but over the last 10, he's averaging 22.6 a contest with six rebounds, a block, and 1.1 steals. He's shooting 50% from the floor and 42% from deep. Again, we've mentioned several times this year. Um, you know, we regularly cite young Phil in Detroit that had that big game against Washington where when teams are missing some of their frontline guys, they're the NBA's the NBA. Everyone's there for a reason. And Peyton Watson's done a great job of taking advantage of the opportunity of Joker being out and upping his production, which has helped them, you know, keep afloat out there in the West. But again, 50% from the floor, 42 from deep. He's nearly doubled his production. Um, Great job, and credit to him for that. On the glass is an area, Washington tends to sometimes have a slight edge over their opponents. It's really close, but keep in mind with Joker being a huge part of that, with him not being on the floor in this game, the Wizards, it's a difference of like 6/10 of a point in terms of how many more rebounds they average. But with him being out, that's something to keep an eye on because that's 12 of those, uh, you know, 40 something, 42, 43 odd rebounds that the Nuggets average a game. That's not penciled in. Again, those numbers we shared with Joker earlier, you literally could pencil them in. at worst, right? So as always, it's defense. It's imperative that they play defense. It's something that's been evergreen all season, and not waiting to punch back. We've seen them again. We can, just going back to last night, we saw Sacramento swing first, jump out with was that a 41-point quarter, and then Washington responded. It was a great response in the second quarter where they responded with a 39-point quarter, but they weren't able to replicate what happened in that second quarter and carry it into the third and the fourth. So again, those are the keys. We'll just review real quick. Slow down Jamal Murray. It's a must. Shooting damn near 40% from deep over the last 7 games for him. And then Peyton Watson. Limit his production as well. Wherever he is on a scouting report, when Joker is when Dever is whole, might be wouldn't be surprised if he moved up a couple notches because of what his production's been like over the last 10 games. Lastly, take care of the ball, which shouldn't be as much of an issue. With the Kings and some other teams they've played in the last couple of weeks, teams have done a good job of turning Washington over because they do average a high amount of steals per game. This is not something that Denver does a great job in. But again, citing last night, the Kings don't shoot the ball prolifically on a regular basis, and they shot 58 from the floor last night. So obviously, anything happened on any given night, but those are the areas to keep an eye on as you guys watch tonight's game, and we'll check in with you guys afterwards on Wizards Outlook. You guys enjoy the game.